You're watching Local 6, home of ClickOrlando.com. Local 6 News starts now.
She called me crying. Somebody raped her.
A panic-stricken mother calls for help after hearing her daughter was raped inside their home. But first, a federal judge is once again telling SeaWorld it must protect its trainer from the park's famous whales. Good evening, I'm Lauren Rowe.
And I'm Gart Swanson. Now, despite this, SeaWorld appears to be ignoring government safety regulators. Shortly after SeaWorld trainer Dawn Brancheau was drowned by a whale 3 years ago, OSHA stepped in and ordered the theme park to keep trainers out of the water and behind safety barriers during shows. But despite a brand new court ruling, Local 6 has learned SeaWorld is still allowing its employees to touch and hug the giant animals without any type of barrier, which the government considers extremely dangerous. Local 6's Mike DeForest is live at SeaWorld tonight. So, Mike, why are those trainers still working so closely to those whales?
Well, Gard, by filing motions in court, SeaWorld seems to believe that it can get the date that they have to implement those safety requirements postponed. But today, a federal judge says that SeaWorld should have begun obeying OSHA 9 months ago.
During today's performance of SeaWorld's Shamu show, One Ocean, Sky 6 captured this video of a trainer leaning on a killer whale and rubbing its back, while other trainers reached into the water to pet and feed the sea creatures. Back in July, an administrative law judge sided with OSHA regulators who ordered SeaWorld to install physical barriers between its trainers and killer whales. OSHA also gave SeaWorld the option to require its trainers to maintain a minimum distance from the killer whales. And yet, 9 months later, SeaWorld trainers continue to have extremely close physical contact with the whales. In those 9 months, SeaWorld has attempted several legal maneuvers trying to postpone OSHA's safety improvements called abatements or possibly get them thrown out altogether. But now a federal judge says that even while SeaWorld is fighting OSHA in court, it should have already started making those safety changes. SeaWorld currently has a duty to abate in accordance with the original abatement deadline, which was back on July 27, 2012. Since that date, OSHA investigators have been back at Shamu Stadium for a follow-up inspection to make sure SeaWorld is following the new safety rules. OSHA has not finished that final report. If OSHA finds that SeaWorld has continued to put its employees in danger, the company could face more fines.
SeaWorld has already been ordered to pay $12,000 in fines. The company is currently appealing that ruling. While that appeal winds its way through the court system, a SeaWorld spokesperson here says that after Dawn Brancheau's death, the company voluntarily implemented several new safety protocols to protect its trainers. Lauren and Gard.
So, Mike, where do we go from here? What's next for SeaWorld?
Well, in about 2 weeks, SeaWorld is scheduled to appear in a court hearing where they will try to get those safety requirement dates postponed. Meanwhile, SeaWorld and OSHA are in talks trying to reach some sort of settlement. Neither side will comment on what that settlement might be.
All right, Mike DeForest reporting live. Thank you, Michael. And tonight we're hearing a mother's tearful call for help after finding out her daughter was attacked inside their home.
Police say a man broke into the family's home and raped the girl while her sister was asleep and while her mother was at work. The attack happened Saturday morning in Seminole County at the Stone Castle Apartments just east of Severin Boulevard in Castleberry. Shelley Muniz walks us through this terrifying ordeal.
The calls are pretty disturbing to listen to. They give a better idea of what happened, though. First, the mom calls 911, and then the 17-year-old victim talks to police about what happened when this man barged in.
And she called me crying. Somebody raped her.
Mom was at work. Her 17-year-old and 10-year-old daughters at home when this man barged in through the window of their Stone Castle apartment, first demanding money.
All right, what's going on there, ma'am?
I just left for the work, and when I got to my work, told me that somebody broke into the house and raped her.
So someone broke in?
She said somebody go in, and before I left, I locked the door, so I don't know how these persons got in.
We're not airing the victim's call to protect her identity, but she tells police this man hid in the bathroom. The teenager thought something wasn't right when she heard the dog barking. That's when she came face to face with this guy who told her he'd kill her if she called police. Her mom making the desperate call for help.
I'm on my way there now, too.
Okay, how long ago did this happen?
It happened just now, like 20 minutes.
Castleberry police have been passing out flyers with the rapist's face on it. Investigators say that all signs point to a random attack. Take a good look at this guy. The most distinguishable feature is that lip ring. If he looks familiar at all to you, call Castleberry police. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Shelley. Another look at the suspect. He's believed to be Hispanic, 5'9", a shaved head, pierced lip. If you know him, call Castleberry police immediately. Meanwhile, police in Volusia County say they've caught the man who raped a woman more than 10 years ago. Daytona Beach police say DNA links 43-year-old Carl Perdue to the attack. Investigators linked him after arresting him last year for trying to pick up an officer posing as a prostitute.
Just in, a woman accused of embezzling $300,000 from a cancer care group. Palm Bay police say Mary Snyder took the money from Oncology Managers of Florida, where she served as treasurer. Investigators say it happened over a span of years, but because there is a statute of limitations, Snyder can only be charged for embezzling money from 2009 until now, which is about $50,000. A Satellite Beach man accused of murdering a teen over loud music will go to trial in the fall.
Michael Dunn will face a jury starting September 23rd. A judge set the trial date today. Investigators say Dunn shot 17-year-old Jordan Davis last August after the two started arguing at a Jacksonville gas station over loud music coming from Davis's car. Dunn told police he thought he saw a gun inside Davis's car, and he fired to defend himself. Cuba is going to hand over the parents wanted for kidnapping their own children. Josh and Sharon Hacken are accused of kidnapping their 4-year-old and 2-year-old sons from their grandmother's house in Tampa last week. The parents do not have legal custody of the boys. Investigators believe the family hopped on a sailboat and sailed the Gulf of Mexico, eventually docking in Cuba. No word yet on when Cuba will hand over the Hackens.
New at 6, fire had destroyed a house, a huge house, 2 stories in Rockledge. And you can see the flames ripping apart the home near Fisk and Roywall Boulevard. These are pictures from our news partners at Florida Today. So far, we have not heard if anyone was hurt or how the fire started, but investigators do believe the fire ignited inside a garage attached to the home. A woman died on her way to a job interview this morning in Volusia County. Police say 31-year-old Kelly Davis was riding her bicycle when she rode into the path of a beer truck at Belleville Road and US 1. Investigators do not believe the truck driver was at fault since he had the right of way. Orange County leaders are moving forward with a plan to add dozens of red light cameras.
Right now, there's only 10, but the county wants to add 80 more cameras. According to the Orlando Sentinel, the county picked a company called American Traffic Solutions to install those cameras. They rejected a lower bid by another company because of its involvement in an alleged bribery scandal in Chicago. Just an interesting aside there. The county does hope to have all of the new red light cameras installed before the end of the next year. Crews are still working to decontaminate a Flagler Beach dog park after a dog died. We told you last week that Wadsworth Park was closed after a dog died from parvo. It's a highly contagious virus that can be spread by indirect contact with dog feces. Officials don't believe the dog contracted the virus from the park, but they fear the pet may have contaminated the park. Park officials are now spraying the area with a special type of bleach to try and kill the virus. The park is expected to be reopened sometime next week.
Poor animals.
I know.
Poor dogs. Oof. Well, the chances of getting a college scholarship is about to get a lot tougher.
Coming up, the new requirements that could cost a lot of students a lot of money for school. Also ahead, a biological mystery. Find out why scientists are still stumped over the deaths of hundreds of pelicans and manatees. Julie.
We're seeing a nice quiet evening. In fact, still very warm out there. We are sitting at 80 degrees in Orlando, but the clouds are increasing for us, and we are keeping an eye on a system well back off to our west. That will bring rain into central Florida. I'll let you know when that will happen and if you'll be dealing with any fog tomorrow morning. First, though, Sports Director David Pingelor is out and about tonight. Hey, Ping.
Hello, very special place, the Orange County History Center. That's where I am right now. And coming in about 15 minutes, a very special guest talking about why we're actually here tonight. I'll reveal all of those again in 15 minutes, guys.
All right, thank you, Ping. And remember, you can now get Local 6 News on the go. Download our mobile app, follow all the news, weather, and traffic in your neighborhood whenever you want.